What's up? What's up? So, my car the other day was actually misfiring on 5 cylinders. As I was just driving on the road regularly, and then all of a sudden, my car starts acting up. It starts and as soon as I stopped and the RPMs dropped to like idling, it just turned off. So what I did to make sure it wasn't something crazy, like let's say for example, oil pressure went down or anything like that, since I have the PP1 type Mustang, it shows you on the dash like the pressure for your oil pump and then how much air it's taking, which is so helpful for this car. And I automatically knew, I was like, oh man, it's the ignition coils. It's gotta be the ignition coils. So I ran some tests and I put the OBD2 sensor thing onto my car to read the codes, and sure enough, it was misfiring on 5 cylinders. 5 cylinders. What I went ahead and did is I changed the spark plugs and I changed the coils. That fixed the issue, but now I'm running, when I go to like 3rd or 4th gear, really, really high RPMs, the car starts to get sluggish. So in order for you to fix that, I actually bought myself some American Muscle coils and some loose spark plugs, because I think the ignition coils that I had bought initially are not meant for the car. They're very like economical type ignition coils, and you cannot go cheap on this car. Do not go cheap on this car. I'm gonna go ahead and show you the process of doing this and the tools you will need and what I did and what made it easier for me to change these ignition coils and spark plugs on this car. So here's the process for that.
These right here are the tools I used. You're going to need a 8mm. You're gonna need a 16, a 5/8 deep socket, but it's also so it has a little device in it so it could catch the spark plug for you. This is very, very helpful here. So it has both sizes here. I believe it's, I'm not even gonna tell you which one it is, but it's the smaller size and then the bigger size as well. For both sockets. So it'll take both of these right here, both sizes. And it helps to extend just in case there's a tough bolt for some reason. And then I'm gonna use a torque wrench. This is only specifically for the spark plug because it takes about 12 psi, so I don't want to over tighten it. Pretty cheap tool setup. The only thing really that's going to be expensive are going to be those ignition coils and the spark plugs, which for me it costs a total of about $500. All right, here we go. What we are going to be taking off here is going to be this little bolt right here. But before we do that, we gotta take this plug out. So all you gotta do is go up like this, pull up, and then you just grab it with your index finger and your thumb here. You push down and out it comes, and that's it. That's as easy as it is. I'm gonna go ahead and use our 8mm here. Boop. These are, for the most part, hand tightened. So once you get it a couple turns, take it off with your hand. Usually the engine covers are sitting on either side and they're just held by like a pop-on or whatever. So you just pop them off here. You gotta make sure you take this off. So you'll lift here, take this off here, and also the cap on this side. And then on the other side, you get a screwdriver and take off the same thing from that side over there. And you move it out of the way and you take off the cover on that side. And then if you want, you can take off the top right here. Got that bolt off. And that's it. And then there's our spark plug, sir. And we're gonna get our spark plug socket here. I got 2 extensions. We got more of a middle one type extension and then a longer one type extension, right? So this one, I'm just gonna use the longer one. You wanna use the shorter one for the one in the rear back on the passenger side. That one is very, very difficult. My dog is making friends. break it loose. And that's it. This one looks pretty good because I just changed it, but I just wanted to show you all the process of how to do this. Now, to put it back in, you do not want to use this socket. So I'm gonna show you how I put it back in there and tighten it down. You don't want to put this in here. You just drop it in there, honestly. But make sure it has the least amount of travel towards the bottom here. So me personally, I just and that's it. Then we grab our socket and our extension. This is a 16mm socket. And put it in here. And then we're good there. I'm gonna set it to 12. It's already set 12 foot-pounds of torque. There. And that's it. That's all we do. Then you just repeat the process backwards again. Once you buy the new ones, you get the ignition coil. And you just press it down. You don't want to tighten it too hard because it is plastic. Again, you just put the plug back in, and then you press down on the tab, and that's it. And you're good to go. Alright, let's get this thing started. That's all. Quick note here for the one in the back on the passenger side. You have the battery covering that a lot. I use those smaller extensions so that way I could get into the spark plug there. Just take it one step at a time. Do the same process. Take off the little tab, unlock it, and then take off the ignition coil, screw, all regular. And then once you get to the ignition coil for you to take it out, you're gonna pop it out and then try to maneuver it going up a little bit and then over. And then for the spark plug itself, the extension is going to be very difficult for it to get in the ignition coil hallway, as I would like to call it. That's the only difficult one. Every other ignition coil did not give me a problem. Thank you all for watching. I'll catch y'all on the next one, all right?